Grams, which I think is like a Nikki account or something like that. I don't know. It says, a portion of the official police report from the Meg Tory situation reveals that Dr. Lafredo treated Meg for a laceration to her left foot. Also states that the same doctor confirmed that it was due to stepping on glass. Okay, now this is a part of the police report right here. I'll read through it, but I have to tell you that this gets a little bit more complicated. That's why I would have been. I had this already, so and salute to my boy Myron. If you guys watch his channel, Fed It, like he was really early on this, and he shared the document with me too. But when you look at this document and a few others, like you realize that there's much more to be said. That's why I didn't tweet about it, because I know Meg would have been like, no, this is not true. So in this case, right, it says that there wasn't bullet fragments found in her leg. It was glass, right? But then in another situation, it says there was. So just because I don't know how far this police report followed it up to and how much of her, hospital visits were all documented, right? Clearly the first one was documented, but who knows? So, I don't want to, like people like Meg, like they really think I have something against them. I want the truth, right? And it don't sound like the fact that she played with me, but I'm not going to lie on her. So that's why I didn't tweet it out or nothing like that. Anyway, I'll click on this and I'll kind of read it. This is a part of a police report. I got the full thing from because it's in Discovery. I got it from one of Meg's homies. And it says, my partner admonished Harris. I don't know why they say admonished. I think they mean questioned and all that stuff. Harris is, I believe, Meg's best friend. She responded, yes, yes, and yes. I think these yeses are basically to say I'm down to speak to authorities. When Tory, in the police report, when they asked Tory did not play around. Tory said, can I speak to a lawyer? Facts. He says, I'll be comfortable to speak to y'all once I get my lawyer here. Okay. He ain't answered no questions. The two women, they're panicking. And the driver kind of talked a little bit. But this is Meg's former best friend. She said if she wanted to talk about what happened, she says, I really want someone to represent me. Oh, she kind of said, get someone to represent me too, right? Yeah. Which this tells me she might be like, I don't know. I don't want to say she's involved. Anyway, investigation, blah, blah, altercations. So what happened is an altercation between Pete and Harris. So that's Meg and her best friend. This is what the police report on the night of. July 12, 2020, approximately 4:30 in the morning. That's 7:30 New York time, a physical altercation. So indeed, Meg and her best friend were fighting, like cat fighting. And cocked. Cool. So there was about 5 shots. Peterson is Tory. Smith, the driver / security. Pete is Meg the Stallion. Harris is the best friend. Okay, so you know all the characters. There's 4 people. I've always told you there's been 4 people in the car. It's not 5. The driver is also the security. The driver has a concealed carry permit, did not have his gun on him. However, he's going to take responsibility. I'm just telling you how this is going to play out. He's going to take responsibility for this gun. And if anything, he gets a gun charge, which is going to be a slap on the wrist for him, right? Because he does have a thing for carrying, concealed carry permit. So he's not going to really get too much trouble. So even if it's Tory, he's going to take responsibility. Secondly, the reason why they gave it to Tory, I thought was mostly because Tory has the name. However, it appears that the gun, which was, they should describe the gun here. It was like I think it's an orange color gun or something of the sort. The gun was beneath Tory's legs. And if Tory sit on the seat because his feet touch the ground, I don't know. Anyway, I'm making a joke. Anyway, the gun was on the passenger side of the front seat where Tory was sitting. So it was in like his little box in the car. So yeah, if the gun is by your foot, you're going to assume it's yours. We're not going to think it's the person in the back threw it over there, right? Which clearly means, either somebody put it there or maybe Tory put it there. But I told you already what's going on with the DNA. They can't really prove is that whether or not he touched the gun, right? In terms of DNA, and they definitely know he didn't load the gun, right? Which that's one of the reasons they're trying to say it's not his gun, right? If it was his gun, you'd find his DNA that he loaded it, right? But there's no DNA from him in loading it, right? Which is it's the report on DNA is it's inconclusive on the gun. So his DNA on the gun inconclusive. On the actual magazine, it's not found. So there's zero DNA from Tory Lanez on the magazine of the gun. When you're loading the gun, this is a gun. You hold the magazine, you put it inside the gun. Your DNA would get in on the magazine, unless somehow you happen to get rid of it or got lucky, or it's pretty much you're not gonna get lucky. But it's no DNA found there. Is his DNA on the gun itself? Which means did he hold it at all that night? Who knows, right? Because that's conclusive, and you know in court, fucking conclusive. You need to prove it, right? So yeah. So 5 rounds, they entered the black Escalade and fled southbound on this street. And based on Peterson, which is Tory's seat position and the position of the firearm, Peterson was the last person to have constructive possession of the firearm. We could Google what that means, but constructive possession of the firearm means, from what I've seen, let me just Google this shit before I start lawyering y'all down and I don't say something. Now I realize niggas they're looking at me like an attorney. So if I misspeak or I say one word out of, oh my God, right? Constructive possession definition, right? Let's just read it here. And this is from Cornell Law, in case any of these fucking lawyer niggas who get mad at me. It's from Cornell Law. Constructive possession is illegal possession of an object, even if it's not in the person's direct physical control. Often used in criminal law for prosecutions of possession crimes, such possession of illegal drugs. Generally, for a court to find that a person had constructive possession of an item, the person must have had direct knowledge of the object and as well the ability to control it. So if the gun's in between where Tory's legs would be or on that floorboard, they were saying it's pretty much impractical that somebody behind him would be able to access the gun or use it or touch it or whatever the case it without them doing something that's unnatural. It would be close. It would be more likely that Tory did it, right? So that's the constructive possession. So now we got that, and I hate to have to do that, but these fucking weirdos these days, like, you know, well, really Megan, I'm like, oh my God, like, how does Akademiks know this? Is he a fucking lawyer? No, nigga, I could fucking read. All right, cool. Back to this. And by the way, this is part of the real police report. Like, I got the whole thing, but this is part of it. Okay, cool. Arrest. So Daystar Peterson was placed under arrest for having a concealed carry in a vehicle. Okay? This is kind of where, you know, if this was Florida, he wouldn't have been charged if the gun was in the glove compartment. But the way they describe where the gun was at, the gun was, listen. Oh, okay. There's another page that describes the gun. Like, that's why I know the color. There's another page. But yeah, if the gun was in a gun compartment and you're in Florida, you could legally carry a weapon. If you're, well, not Tory can, because Tory's not allowed to have a weapon. But if you legally have a gun, you could carry it. I don't think you could have one in the head though, but you could carry it in your glove compartment. Anyway, without a permit, without a concealed carry. Concealed carry in like Florida is walking around with it, right? But if you're driving, yeah, you can have it. In New York, you can't have a gun nowhere on you. You can't have it in the car. First of all, if you have it in the car, you have to be driving through New York. You can't stop at all. If you're having it in New Jersey, unless you have the proper permits, you got to be driving into the range or driving it through it. Can't stop at all. Ammunition got to be away from the gun. All these things. If it's not, you're gonna get charged. Same with California. You could have a gun transporting it, but it has to be separate from the ammo and the magazine. All type of weird shit. Which means, yeah, I'm just giving you a little bit of education. Okay. All right. Okay, so you got violation for carrying a concealed weapon. As I said, what's most likely going to happen here, if you ask me, Daystar Peterson, K. Tory, his security guard is going to take this. The security guard is going to say, it's my gun, I threw it over there, right? Now, he's not going to say it initially. You know why he's not going to say it initially? Because the gun was fired. So if you just say it initially, they're going to look at you to say, oh, so you did the shooting, right? So it's gonna get brought up But that's something to address Tory. So if Tory beats the "did you shoot Meg" thing, if he beats that, he's gonna beat this too, right? Because his man's is just gonna say, "Oh, it's mine," right? But of course, that's gonna depend on who did the shooting and was she really shot, right? Okay, cool. Let's keep going. So he got arrested. Injuries. Smith, Peterson, and Harris did not complain about injuries. So that's the driver, Tory, and the best friend did not complain about injuries. It looked like Meg caught a case of the beast. Yo, Meg's like 6'3". Well, actually, let me not say that because she said she got shot. So, but according to the police report, they were fighting. I don't know who won the fight, but look, I'm just only quoting the police report. Physical altercation. Look, remember, physical altercation between Harris and Pete. That's Meg and her best friend. All right. Cool. All right. Back down here, Pete, which is Megan Stallion, was transported to Cedars-Sinai Hospital and treated by Dr. Lafredo for lacerations to her left foot. Dr. Lafredo confirmed lacerations due to stepping on glass. Okay? And this is where people have now ran with this narrative to say Meg stepped on glass, right? Which that is true. There was glass found. The reason why I didn't tweet it out, I'm going to tell you why in a second. There's some evidence that's also included, and there was a bunch of suspension shell casing. There's a pendant. I think there's a yellow umbrella pendant, which they believe is from Tory. Anyway. Cool. So can we conclude that she stepped on glass? No. I can't conclude that. The reason why is that page 6 obtained more information, which is not in the police report we see. It's in some other documents that's in the discovery, and I'm working with Meg's homie to get that as well, okay? So, if you go back to, and sorry for the graphic image, people, April 25th, 2022, this is the medical details from the shooting and the bullet findings, right? So, doctor found 3 major bullet fragments, blah, blah, in July. A medical report exclusively obtained by page 6 reveals. Now, let me tell you why there's a discrepancy, because nothing in that police report said bullets, right? And this is why I didn't report it. Initially, the doctors, because Meg told the story, which is a lie, that nothing happened and that she heard gunshots, but she told him she stepped on glass. They weren't looking for bullets. Quint looks at her, they then find that there's bullet fragments. So I don't want to say it's a lie that there was bullet fragments. From what I'm hearing, there was bullet fragments. Now, do I have the official discovery that shows this? No, I'm going off of what page 6 is saying. When I get the discovery of that, and I will get it because Meg Thee Stallion's friend is really good to me, I'll let you guys know about that. But here it goes. Doctor found whatever. Okay, cool. The report notes that she was alert, oriented, breathing comfortably at the time of the admission. She had a visible small wound to her posterior ankle with no active bleeding, whatever. Through the report, Megan appeared to withhold information from several officials about how she sustained her injuries. Yeah, they were trying to figure out what. She just said, I stepped on glass. She told authorities she was walking at a party, heard a loud noise, and ran away. The medical report stating, adding that she had thought she stepped on glass. This is how it looked initially. A photo of the rapper's foot shows she sustained serious injuries after the alleged July 2020 shooting. The emergency department noted that Meg was asked repeatedly about her injury, but she stated she never heard a gunshot. Initially, she didn't even believe that there were bullets present. However, the report states that initial x-rays show bullet fragments in both of her ankles. Now, see, that's where it gets dicey. Because if initial reports say there was bullet fragments, why isn't that on the police report that we're reading? Right? Cool. This is another picture, which I think this is an exclusive picture from page 6. It shows, I think, her injuries kind of cleaned up a little bit, or maybe the other side of her foot. Right? This photo, including the medical report exclusively obtained by page 6, shows a close-up of Meg's injury on the back of her foot. An insider exclusively told page 6 on Monday, Meg told the doctors full versions of the night events as they discussed the prospective of surgery. Okay, cool. So now this is making a little bit more sense. At first, they think she stepped on glass. They're writing it up as they kind of see it. They're thinking when they probably think bullets, because they do hear that she's been transported from an incident where there were bullets fired. So they're looking at her injuries to see if it's consistent with her being shot, right? This nigga 6ix9ine called me. I got to tell him on stream. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, this nigga 6ix9ine's called me over and over again. Hold on. All right. I told him I'm busy. I told him I'm on stream. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Cool. Insider says. So I guess they look at her and be like, "Yo, there might be some shit, right?" So they probably do an X-ray, right? I don't think the X-ray just initially tells you it's bullet fragments. Like, you know what I mean? You probably would need a little bit more, I would believe. I'm just using my own brain, right? I think they start kind of telling her, like, yeah, something's lodged in your foot. And she probably realized lying is just not the way to go. So she tells him, like, yeah, like someone shot near me. Because now they're telling her, like, yo, there's something in your leg. We might have to take it out because we can't get to it. We might have to do surgery. When people start talking about doing surgery on your body, your lies will cut the fuck out. Right? She's like, no, nothing wrong with me. No. Like, nah, just step through some glass, bitch. We're going to have to do some fucking invasive surgery, and you won't be twerking for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Listen, this looks bad. You'll be like, oh, no, let me just tell you the truth, and then y'all can tell me what we could do. Right? So they told the doctor the full version as soon as they told her about surgery. Ain't that a bitch? She was like, I ain't snitching on nobody. Surgery? Oh, hell no. That nigga shot me. Cool. As a result of the surgery, 3 bullet fragments were saved, packaged according to standard protocol, and passed off to proper authorities. Okay? So there should be bullet fragments. I'm waiting on the documentation of that. That is also part of the discovery. And from what I'm hearing, Meg's homie is going to, passing that off to me this week. The reports also state that tiny fragments of the retained missile that were deemed too small to attempt to be retrieved, meaning parts of the bullet still remain on her feet to this date. She was discharged from the hospital the 16th. When did this happen? This happened? Wow. So this, look, so this is why it happened, right? See? She got brought to the hospital the 12th. She got discharged from the hospital the 16th. So you could tell there was multiple tests, multiple people looking at it. The first doctor who looked at it, this is why the police report look like that. So the police are just trying to type up their report. She gets sent to the hospital. They probably call down to the station, or they probably go down there like, yo, what's the deal with this? The first guy who looks at it, who Meg's lying to, says, yo, she stepped on glass. Now, here's the thing. I believe, me personally, this is academic thoughts, both could be true. I believe there are bullet fragments, and I believe she did also have lacerations via glass. I think she had bullet fragments, and I think she had glass also lodged in her legs, in her feet. That's the thing. Both could be true. Where did the glass come from? She probably kicked out one of the... I heard she cut herself while kicking the glass of one of the cars. Because she was like, she wanted to get out of the car. That's what I heard. I don't know, right? So I think both could be true. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no, there's no bullet fragments. Again, I'm the most unbiased person in this situation, not because I see a fucking police report, which I have the full thing. I have much more documents than that. I'm not going to take that and be like, oh, no, she's completely lying about that. Nope. Because you know why? When the document come out about the bullet fragments, I'm going to look stupid. And I don't like looking stupid. Nah, I'm not Tasha K. Anyway, yeah, cool. All right. So, yeah. So, basically, what we have is two people that disagree with each other. The first person, which is the Dr. Lafredo. Dr. Lafredo is the other person who looked at her later and did the I can't talk. That did the X-rays is someone different. So that's completely someone different than Dr. Lafredo. So it's just two different opinions, and someone found something that the other one didn't find. It's just like, yo, if you go to your doctor and you just lie to your doctor might not do their due diligence in checking you as how they should. But what happens is She's in the hospital. They're keeping her there. Somebody comes to look at it and says, hey, yo, oh shit, yo, we got the x-ray results back. And yeah, fuck. There's some shit in your leg. We're not too sure what it is. It could be glass. It could like fuck you up later. We might need to do some surgery. This could be really bad. You probably told some shit. You can't, maybe if this doesn't go right, you might not be able to walk again. Fuck that. She probably just tells him the truth. Nigga, that what really happened, what you seen there, they gotta be bullets because I got shot or a bullet flew next to my leg and broke apart. Some of it went in there. So, oh, okay, all right, cool. Let's see if we can try to get that out. They got 2 of them out or 3 of them out. One of them, or like 2 pieces that's very minuscule, they're like, we can't get to, but at least you're good. She leaves the hospital like 3 days later, 2 days later. She get out of there. Then she sees Tory, who's now fucking defending herself and defending himself, and people looking at her like she was in the cahoots with them, and she just came out and said, fuck that, I'm a victim. From what I heard, Meg was, she was being pressured to by, she had a lot of brand deals. And these brand deals, initially when the story was reported, it made it seem like Meg was part of some criminal activity with Tory. So she needed to get to the victim side because she got brand endorsements and all other shit. She said, fuck that. Nigga, I'm the victim. She's like, she declared that. I'm the victim. Whoa. Stop with all this reporting. Remember how people were reporting when she just came out? Like, yo, stop with all that reporting. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. Matter of fact, y'all believe I'm the victim? Tory shot me. That's how it goes. Yo, salute to everybody on Twitch for all the resubscriptions. Ravka, Ooh Wavy, I see you. Nunez Boy, I see you. David P, the investor. Somebody say, yo, Fanis is definitely gonna run for governor of Atlanta. Who's governor right now? Or governor of Georgia? Is it a black lady or a black person that's a governor? She might be able to do mayor or something like that, right? Somebody said, yo, you had 15K on YouTube, did we? Holy shit. We got like humble 12 right now. So good. Thank everybody for tuning in. As more information comes about this, you know, I'll go live the same way and just kind of give you out all the info that we have on everything. Enzo Kubrick, thank you for all the gifted subs. Salute to you. And these are from way back. All right. What else did I wanted to touch on? There's a few other things I wanted to touch on.